What's up, Vegas fans? I'm Jamie.
And I'm Ashley.
And on today's edition of Vegas Valuations, we're talking about another hotel that we have spent quite a bit of time at over our many trips to Vegas. It is a hotel that, a lot like Luxor, gets an unfair rap as far as we're concerned, but we absolutely love it.
Yes.
I don't think we have much negative to say about it at all, really.
No.
In fact, I enjoy it so much that when I see some of the negative reviews that come up on social media about it, I kind of question, maybe it was a one-off, because what are we up to, 4 or 5 times staying at this hotel?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
And we've never had an experience that, mirrored anything like the terrible ones we've had at Flamingo.
No.
Today, we're talking about the Excalibur. Excalibur on today's edition of Vegas Valuations. And if you're new to the channel, here's how it works. We're going to break down several different criteria. We're going to give you today's price for a room at the Excalibur, and then we're going to give you a final valuation when it comes to what we think the Excalibur should be ranked. And again, a few things to keep in mind. We're not high rollers by any stretch of the imagination, but we have stayed at several different hotels in Las Vegas. Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur, Bellagio, New York, Flamingo. The list goes on. We have quite a bit of experience when it comes to different types of hotels. I mean, we've stayed we haven't stayed at like Fontainebleau or Resorts World only because we don't really like that area. But we have a general idea. We're not just saying Excalibur because that's all we've ever stayed at. So I think that's important. And when it comes to the criteria I just referenced in terms of things we're going to be evaluating, we're going to talk about the room itself, and included in that is the cleanliness, the space, the comfort. We're going to be talking about the hotel common areas. We're going to talk about on-site amenities, location, and then one more time, today's price to give you the final ranking. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about the rooms. Now, there are 2 separate towers at Excalibur, at least that we've stayed at. There's the Royal, and then there's the Resort Tower. Right. We've stayed in both. Yep. Typically, we stay at the Resort Tower on the stay well floors, right? I think those are a little bit pricier than the rock bottom rooms at Excalibur.
Yeah. Not by much, but a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, come on, it's not a huge step up. We're not staying in any of the suites at the top floor or anything. This is, basically, you've got your basic, and then you're one rung up. Now, I will say that the stay well thing is a scam.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a joke. It comes with a diffuser in the shower. Yeah, well, that doesn't work. I don't know if I've ever actually smelled orange zest in the shower. It comes with an air purifier. I'm pretty sure the filters have never been changed in those things.
But I do like the air purifier.
Yeah, but do you like it just because you think it's doing something?
No, I like it because I like the noise.
Oh, okay.
When I'm sleeping.
Hey, if you're a white noise fan, the air purifier does provide that. There is some of the ambient noise while you're sleeping. There are a few other elements of the stay well room, but I mean, I don't know. When we haven't stayed in a stay well room, I don't notice a huge difference, to be honest with you. So I think that when it comes to the room itself, it's a lot like Luxor. It's comfortable. It's relatively clean. Some of the furniture, some of it's taken a bit of a beating. You can tell that there's some scuff marks on things and whatever else. But at the end of the day, if you're in Vegas to enjoy Vegas, if you're in Vegas to hit the strip, to do some gambling, to see some shows, you're in your room maybe 10 hours a day at the most, if that. Yeah. So I guess it's really a matter of what you need when you're going down there. If you're one of those people that need to be pampered, that need to have the best of the best, probably Excalibur's not going to be for you. If you're looking for a comfortable place to get some shut-eye, to have a shower, we've got nothing wrong with it. I've got nothing bad to say about the Excalibur. No, I don't think we've had, again, any sort of bad reaction. Again, not like anything we've seen at the
we've
Flamingo.
never had issues with the rooms. Like, we've
No.
never, ever had to call maintenance or anything like that to come. Housekeeping, I can't remember if you have to opt into housekeeping there.
No.
I don't think you do.
At MGM, you can opt out.
Oh, okay. So regardless, you'll get it, but you can opt out. So yeah, we've never had issues with not having towels or toilet paper.
And you know what? That's a good point, because I will say that Excalibur probably higher than any other hotel we've ever stayed at. And that includes the Bellagio. That includes Mandalay Bay. The housekeeping there is fantastic. You leave your room in the morning, as you typically would. You go get breakfast. Maybe you'll do some gambling. You walk the strip for a bit. And if you're like us, you'll need a break because you've had a little bit too much to drink during the day. So you maybe want to go back to your room and have a nap. You're always kind of, I wonder if they've actually cleaned the room. I think I can count on one hand the times that we've gone back to the room and it hasn't been cleaned in that 4 or 5 hour window.
Yeah.
It is like they are efficient. They get in, they get out. They do a great job over there. And that's, again, I say that Flamingo, I don't think they cleaned our room once while we were there.
Nope.
And we opted in to the house cleaning in that case. So in terms of our Vegas valuation, the ranking out of 10 when it comes to the room, the comfort, the space, the cleanliness, what are you giving the Excalibur?
I think an 8.
An 8 out of 10. And I would have to agree. Again, is it
Top of the line.
top of the line bedding? Is it top of the line thread count? Do you have the softest pillows? No, you don't. But is it comfortable? Yeah. Does it rival most hotels I've stayed at? Yeah. And as a result, I think 8 out of 10 is a very fair score.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. For the rooms, 8 out of 10. Up next is the hotel common areas and the staff. And this would include your lobby area, your check-in process, your elevators, the things that you kind of have to deal with when you're staying at a hotel. I'm not talking about the amenities, the little extras like the restaurants, the casinos, the shows, the whatever. We're just talking about the places that you're going to have to interact with if you're staying at a hotel.
I have to say that the check-in process with Excalibur is amazing.
Yeah. Again, I have seen the lobby area at Excalibur bumping, but they ran through those lines pretty quick. Mm-hmm. But I think the key point here is, and again, if you watch that, I know I keep going back to the Flamingo, but it's the only Caesars property we've stayed at, right? I don't think we've stayed at any other Caesars properties.
No, I don't think we have.
I don't get it, Caesars. If that's what your process is like across the line, like look at what MGM is doing, because the mobile check-in from your phone, we've checked into our rooms before we even arrive. We're in the Uber, we're checking in, we go right up to the room, we don't even have to deal with anybody at the front counter. Now, I will say that this does eliminate any chance of you getting an upgrade.
Yes.
So if you're one of those people that like to ask if upgrades are available, do the regular check-in. But for us, we tend to not really care. No. I would much rather get up to my room, get my vacation started, as opposed to having to wait in line in the hopes that maybe you get an upgrade. But yeah, the mobile app where you can do the check-in process on your phone, the key card is right on your phone, and if you want, you can go right to one of those kiosks and print off a key. It is seamless and works almost all of the time. We've never had an issue with that. So that to me is an A+. I don't think I've got anything negative or fantastic to say about the staff.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, no, I don't think anyone's ever went like over and above, but I don't think we've ever had an issue.
If there's any hockey fans out there, really solid defensemen in the NHL tend not to get a lot of hype or hate. That's how I would equate the staff at the Excalibur. They haven't done anything overly remarkable as far as I'm concerned, but they haven't done anything to piss me off. They're just kind of there. And that's okay with me.
Yep.
You know what? I'm not expecting fantastic, staff experiences every place I go. What I do expect is that if I'm having a problem, someone helps me solve that problem. And I haven't had anything that has come up at Excalibur.
Yep.
Elevators, they can get a little busy, but nothing like I've seen at other resorts. Again, there's several banks of elevators. That's a key thing. If you're staying at these mega resorts, and when Excalibur was built, it was the biggest hotel on the Strip, and it remains to be one of the largest hotels on the Strip. They know what they're doing when it comes to getting people up and down from their room, and that's actually very nice.
Yeah.
Very rarely are you waiting for a long time. There have been a few times near checkout where it is a little bit of a process to get on an elevator to go down to your room. So, like, be careful, that 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning area, yeah. But I think that's every hotel in Vegas.
Yeah.
Because everybody's checking out, they're riding the elevator down all basically around the same time. But in terms of hotel common area staff, what are you giving the rating?
Again, I would have tough to say an 8.
8? So that's 8 for room, 8 for hotel common areas and staff. Up next is on-site amenities. And this is your restaurants, your bars, your shows, as well as the casino. Let's start there, because we actually referenced the Excalibur Casino in our Luxor video. If you haven't seen it, we'll put up a card somewhere and you can go catch it there after this one. And the Luxor Casino, not great. Not my favorite casino. It lacks a certain energy. It kind of reminds me of like a Canadian casino.
Yeah.
Canadian casinos, we got a YouTube short kicking around. Like, it's like a library. Luxor's not quite that bad, but it lacks that kind of
energy.
Yeah. But Excalibur has it.
Yes.
It's very busy. It's got this sort of vibe to it. I like the amount of games that you can choose from. I don't think I've got anything bad to say about the Excalibur Casino.
No.
All right, so there's a big one. What about the restaurants? And there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, like I mean, we referenced this before because I think I was confused by the food court for Luxor and Excalibur, but I love the Excalibur food court. It's you just take the escalators up from the casino, and it's like right there, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest.
Yeah.
In any casino hotel in Vegas, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options there.
There is. There's quite a few options there. There's a Starbucks. Is it Dunkin' Donuts?
No, it's Krispy Kreme. We're Canadians, so keep that in mind. We don't have the luxury of Krispy Kreme or very rarely Dunkin' Donuts.
See, and I'm not the biggest donut fan, but he is.
I mean, there's been a few mornings where you're really not feeling great from the night before, and all you want is some food. You get yourself 4 Krispy Kreme donuts, you are good to go.
What was that bagel restaurant in there?
Einstein's.
Yeah, it was. I got a breakfast sandwich from there the one day. Oh, it was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the food court actually is really good. And if you're looking for very, very cheap late night eats, they have now a Pizza Hut there.
Oh, yeah.
And for $20, we each got like a pizza.
Combo.
Yeah.
You get a pizza, breadsticks, and a drink.
Yeah, so if you're looking for late night cheap eats, check out the Excalibur food court, because a lot of the other food courts you're going to find the typical Johnny Rockets, or there is also, I forget the name of the burger place, Fat Burger.
It's expensive.
Super expensive. Yeah. I'm not sure if those burger joints flip their price over after midnight, because they know. They're like, these idiots are going to pay it because they're drunk.
There's lots of shops up there, too. So there's like a convenience store. That's where they also have their buffet, which is also very good.
Is it
top? No.
Bacchanal? No. Is it Bellagio? No. Is it Wynn? No. But it is way better than Luxor, and the price is right.
Yes, and the lineups aren't bad.
Lineups have been okay, too, there as well. Yeah, quick in and out, lots of selection. I'll give the buffet at Excalibur actually a high rating.
And then where did we go the last time? Was it Tap?
Tap.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, super affordable. And not to steal other people's ideas on YouTube, because I do see this is where we get a lot of our inspiration from. If you happen to play My Vegas, you can actually get 2-for-1 buffet tickets on My Vegas, the app. You can get discounts for Tap. We actually got a discount. So I think it was a $25 discount if you spent $50 or more. So right there, your bill's cut in half. I mean, it's better than nothing. Yeah. And the My Vegas, for those wondering, it's like a slot game on your phone.
Yeah,
you don't pay.
Free.
Yeah. You just rack up points the more you play. And we tend to do that quite a bit when we're going to Vegas. Like,
you can get discounts on shows,
rooms,
food,
free play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'll give it the plug, and I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder when it comes to talking about my Vegas, but if you've never heard of it, great option because it can definitely help you save some cash.
I do want to talk to you about the arcade downstairs.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, it's not terrible if you have kids and you, like, I mean, when we took the kids a couple of times, we gave them $20, sent them downstairs, and...
Yeah, okay, let's, before people call the authorities on us, our kids are not, they're not babies. We're not talking about
teenagers.
Yeah, we brought teenagers to Vegas. They went downstairs to the casino and played, or to the arcade and played, and we...
Let's talk about authorities.
Yeah, and we stayed upstairs and played a few games in the casino.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. It does have a smell.
Well, yeah, because the tournament things are
but
down there.
we got to be honest with them. We have to let them know the good and the bad. I'm not a fan of the arcade. I'll be honest with you. Only because I'm not really a fan of making Vegas a family-friendly place. The more I go down there, the less patience I have for it. But with that being said, it is okay. There is a bit of a smell. The only reason why there's a smell is because it's adjacent to the stables for the, what's the name of the show?
Tournament of Kings.
Tournament of Kings. So yeah, you got horses next door. It's going to smell like horses. But you're not wrong. If you're bringing your kids, be responsible about it. Stop being the jerks that let your kids hang out of the casinos while you play a slot. That's a jerk move. But you're right.
It's a good option.
Good option.
Kids.
It is a good option. And they also have that Matt King magician or comedy or whatever he is. We've never been to that show. But that's a family-friendly show from what we understand. Also, in terms of amenities, we've never eaten there. I don't know. The Dick's/Resort. It looks fun, but I'm not paying for that kind of food, to be honest with you. I'm in Vegas.
And for someone to sit there and insult you.
Yeah, it's not my vibe. It's not my thing. But if you're looking for a unique dining experience where they're going to kind of put you through the paces and humiliate you throughout your meal, hey, Dick's Last Resort.
Yeah.
Decent option. All of that's available in Excalibur, as well as a few other shows. We referenced Tournament of Kings.
Thunder.
We've seen that one.
Yeah, Thunder from Down Under.
Thunder from Down Under is there. And I think that's it. The Matt King comedy or magic. And in terms of shows, there isn't the Spice Girls. They've rehashed a Spice Girls show. It's not actually the Spice Girls, in case we need to say that. But there's a lot.
There is.
There is a lot at Excalibur in terms of amenities.
Yeah.
So, out of 10, what do you rank the amenities, the on-site amenities at Excalibur?
I'm say an 8 again.
An 8? Not bad. There's also the Italian restaurant right up by the Escalade.
We've never checked that out.
We've never eaten there either. We tend to like to eat off-resort if we can, because we like to, hey man, you got the entire Las Vegas Strip and downtown, but because we stay at Excalibur so often, we haven't eaten at a lot of the restaurants, except for the food court, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
We're stumbling back to the room, and it's got 2 Starbucks. If you're a Starbucks fan, that's one nice thing about Excalibur, and in our experience, the one in Excalibur stays open later than any other Starbucks we've come across.
Yeah, the one on the casino floor.
Yeah, it's on the casino floor, actually right opposite where you would typically walk in. If you're one of those people that would like to have access to Starbucks coffee late into the evening, and sometimes that's us, it is open much later than, let's say, the one upstairs in the food court, the one over at Luxor.
I don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's around midnight.
Yeah.
It stays open till.
So again, another plus when it comes to the on-site amenities for Excalibur. Just a ton going on over there. Huge resort, and it's absolutely dynamite.
So yeah, 8.
8 out of 10 it is. Let's move on to location. Again, you've heard us talk about it if you've been watching this channel for a while. Location's pretty solid.
Yeah, we like the location.
We love this area of the Strip. We love the Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur, right to New York, New York. That is where we love in Vegas. We have stayed, obviously, Center Strip, Mirage, Flamingo. It's busy. It's really intense down there. And just walking from point A to point B is very, you feel very jammed in. You do not get that experience on the other side of the Strip. No. And people say, oh, you're so far away from the action. You're not. You're not far away from the action when you're staying on that end of the Strip. It's what, like a 20-minute walk?
Yeah, like I was going to say, even to the Link Promenade, which is, I mean, a great place to be, even like in the evening and stuff, if you want to have a few drinks. But like, Yeah, maybe 20 minutes to get back to the hotel room.
Yeah, we're not big Uber and taxi people unless we're going to a show and we're kind of dressed up. We don't want to wear, running shoes or whatever. Or we've got like a dinner reservation that we're, again, dressing nice for. So we do a lot of walking, like on average 6 to 8 to 10 miles a day. And the Excalibur hoof from that to like Alexa's, which is right outside of Paris, is maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're not that far from the action. Don't let people fool you. Yes, there is certainly a lot of walking in Las Vegas, but once you get used to it, it's totally fine. And in my experience, if you want to wait for the Uber or the bus, which we've done too, I made that mistake the first time I was in Vegas. I waited so long for the bus. I was like, I could get there by now. You're going to wait a little bit longer than I think it would take to even walk there.
Yeah.
So location, what are you giving it out of 10?
An 8.
An 8. Well, this is going to be pretty easy.
Right?
8 for room, 8 for hotel common areas, 8 for hotel amenities, and an 8 for the overall location, which brings us to the pièce de résistance, the price. Now, here is some things to keep in mind when we talk about price. We are not putting in our MGM rewards information here. We are not signing in. When we offer you the price, we want to make sure that this is the same price for everybody, whether you're all the way up the ranks in the MGM rewards card or starting at the very bottom and don't even have the card. So the price I'm about to reference is not a special rate for us. Not that we would have a great rate. MGM reset their tiers. Thanks, MGM. All of our hard work to get to Pearl. So we're back to Sapphire, which is like bottom row, right?
Yeah, the lowest.
The lowest you can go over at MGM. So we are definitely not high rollers by any stretch of the imagination. As well, keeping in mind this is today's rate. I am literally looking at today's rate as we speak. So these rates will fluctuate. And right now, if you wanted to stay at the Excalibur, well, I can't give you today's because there's no option for today. I'll give you tomorrow's. And keeping in mind, we're recording on February 18th. For us here in Alberta, tomorrow's a holiday, but as well for in the States, it's President's Day. We are getting to know the States quite well. That I now know when the holidays and the long weekends are. If you wanted to stay Monday, February 19th at the Excalibur, it would cost you $25. That is the base, and I believe that the resort fees. The resort fees have gone up to $37. Yeah. So it's $25 plus your $37 resort fee. I'll let you do the math, but it's still under $100 US. And like I said, the last time we did a video about the Luxor, and I'll do it for every hotel. I'm so tired of hearing people, I cannot believe the prices in Vegas. Bro, it's everywhere. We literally, just a few nights ago, last week, had to stay in a hotel for something work-related, like an hour from the city we live in, and it cost $200. Now, that's Canadian, so it's like $4 US. But it was still $200 Canadian for us to stay in a hotel that did not have a casino, that did not have a Dick's Last Resort, that did not have a horse stable in the basement. So I think we have to keep in mind that these are still relatively fair prices. And I don't want to go on an entire tangent here, but the people who are like, let's get rid of the resort fees. Do you not think that there's going to take that resort fee and apply it to the base rate? Like, give your head a shake. They're not getting rid of the resort fees, and it gives you some incentive to want to climb up the tiers so you can avoid paying those. If you get to gold with MGM, I don't think you have to pay them, right?
No.
So there you go. Again, going off the rails slightly, but that price, under $100 US, $25 base rate for an evening stay, February 19th. That is a Monday. Obviously, the rates will go up on the weekends.
Yes.
The rates will go up in peak times. But I think because we're coming off just a week removed from the Super Bowl, which was in Vegas, you're seeing some lower rates. It's also February. Pools aren't open yet, at least not Excalibur. No. Some of them have year-round, but not Excalibur. That's another thing we didn't talk about, the pool. We've done that a few times.
We stayed at the pool, too.
We'll give that its own review.
Yeah.
Because we got a cabana.
Yeah.
And I think that warrants its own review. As well, we did do a Tournament of Kings.
Yes.
And that will get its own review as well. Those are two kind of cool experiences that we'll talk about separately. But the pool Excalibur, pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Nope.
All right, so there you go. Great location. Okay, everything else. Fantastic price. What is your total Vegas valuation for the Excalibur?
8.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Don't let the negativity online fool you, folks. Actually, it's worth mentioning that one of the reasons why we wanted to do this was Jacob Orth, who's a big Vegas, influencer. I hate that term. I hate that term so much. He's a presence on social media that talks a lot about Las Vegas. He's running a poll right now on his Twitter feed, and I'll throw it up. And he's asking, which hotel would you rather stay at, Excalibur or Harrah's? And you should see some of the negative comments toward Excalibur. And you see that all the time on social media. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have actually not even stayed there. They just assume. It's like a snowball. Someone talks. I mean, I know we're not supposed to swear because it maybe hurts the algorithm, but we're not doing great for views anyway. Someone talks shit on social media, and they just assume that it's the gospel. So it kind of takes off like a snowball. But right now on this poll, Harrah's is leading by a pretty wide margin, which I find hard to believe because I've heard some shady things about Harrah's too. I've never stayed
there,
but I mean, what the theme at Harrah's is just purple. But again, that's for another day. And I'm not smack talking Harrah's either. I just was blown away that it's that lopsided.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because there's a misconception out there when it comes to Excalibur. Mm-hmm. I had to convince somebody on one of those Facebook groups. I literally went back and forth with them. We weren't arguing, but she was so concerned about all of the negativity she had seen on Facebook and on review sites. And I had to tell her, look, we've stayed there 4 or 5 times, never had an issue, never had a problem, never had a room that was subpar, never had to actually call down and ask for housekeeping. Always a great experience. 8 out of 10 seems totally fair. And that is today's edition of Vegas Valuations.